What we're going to do is modify the last ship design so that I don't have to rely on those ladders that weren't working. I think that the sound has changed back to the old settings. Welcome to Puka. Let's exit this. I would like to modify... No, it's the same. It seemed loud to me. I don't know. Let's get the music a little lower. Oh, I guess... There we go. I see. Okay. I was not hitting apply, I guess, and so it wasn't. Okay, alright. So, back to what we were doing. Let's edit. Or did we not save the Science 11? Interesting. Oh, no, we did, right? Okay. So we have the Science 11. Where is it? It's way up here. Okay, so this is the Science 11. We're going to modify this because this ladder here didn't work, so we're actually going to take that off. We don't need... actually, yeah, I'll put that back on. I'm going to snap to the grid. What I'm going to do is I want to add, because you can't go through this, so I guess let's look to see what the labels are on some stuff. So if we go down to science, does this thing have an indicator? I guess if it has crew capacity, that means crew can go through it, is my guess. So what we want to do is we want to have something that's on the same ladder level that can transition into this. So we're going to detach this. And we're going to add, there's a hitchhiker thing. That's how big is it? Oh, it's bigger than I want it to be. What I was hoping is something that I could put crew into that would be the same size as this. So that's a little larger than I want. That ruins my plan. That's also big. Yeah, so there's this thing here, which basically is just a place where you can put crew into. There's no, like, it doesn't do anything else. You can just put crew into it. But what it does is it has a ladder and a door. And so what I was hoping is that I could put it on here that would allow them to walk on the outside, go into that same, like, size thing, and then transition into the next room. But that doesn't work. Whoa, what is this? Oh, can they get into that, though? Oh, there's a door in this. No. Yeah, there's no ladder or door. So that's not quite what I want. How can I get them from here? And to figure out how to get them from up here into this. How did I used to do it? You're taking these ships to the galaxy beyond, right? So it should have big friendly letters that read "Don't panic." Yeah, on the cover. Well, shucks. I was really hoping that was my plan. I was thinking about that last night, and I was going to attach those on, and that was going to allow it to transition in between them. I mean, I guess the other option is we can make this. We can actually land with this big science thing. For now, eventually we'll be able to change that, but I guess we could land with that. Shucks. I don't know how to get them to transition between those spots. Welcome, Sharp Edge. Yes, Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get... I wanted a building that would be the same size as this, but allow them to go into it. Because I can't even scroll up anymore, I'm so high up. I mean, I guess I can put I can put one of these here. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can attach it there. So that then, well, I don't know if I can really transition into that very well, actually. That might work. And then do ladders in that. That might be a way to go. Probably a better way to do it in general. So potentially that will allow them to get from the top all the way down. So let's try it. So this we could try in the launch pad. Probably. We'll try it in space. Which one's worse? I guess the launch pad is probably safer than in space. So let's, okay, this is a science 12. We haven't changed it too much, but we changed it a little bit. We're going to load in, we're going to have a person, so we want actually the scientist as part of this mission. We're going to save. Not going to try it because we didn't change enough to that I think I need to worry about too much of it. Yeah, I've been good. I've been slower than I've been really enjoying recently Kerbal Space Program. It's a lot of fun. Okay. I'm ready to launch. To launch. We'll double check the staging, but I think the staging should be fine. So we have all the engines. We get rid of the outside ones, then we get rid of the inside ones, then we fire the smaller ones, and we have a couple different extra staging because we got rid of some rockets up here. SAS on, throttle up. This one is manned. I didn't change. I feel like I didn't change enough to warrant having to worry about doing unmanned. This is the same one we did last time. So this takes off right away. It's a little wobbly, but I think it's good enough that we'll be okay. Is this the scientist guy? Oh, it is. Okay. I was worried that I got the wrong guy. So at first we're gonna mostly just go straight up, because with this one it's a little wobbly because it's, I mean, I kind of have really a long front of it, and so it doesn't really. Yeah, it gets wobbly. It gets very wobbly. Yeah, today was supposed to be Minecraft, but last night I was actually having problems sleeping because I was thinking about docking and thinking about all the cool things I can do in this one. So we are playing Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, so it gets a little wobbly as we go up. I could have made it less long, probably, if I would have added like another layer of rockets out and then made this thing shorter. Oh dear. Everything's fine. Don't mess up. It's flexing. That's all. I'm not going to try and tilt it any more than it's doing on its own until we at least get rid of the outside rockets, because they are not so great. So once we get rid of the outside rockets, once he's empty, then we will be more stable, and then we can do something with it. Okay, so now we're more stable. Everything's great. Let's fix our orbit a little bit. Yeah, flexing. Yes. Okay. But we're doing okay. So what I'm hoping is I get into orbit and then do some science, and then maybe have some extra fuel, maybe even have enough to go to the moon and do some science and do the science pod thing. We know that we have recyclers and stuff in here, so we actually have extra weight that we don't need right now because we don't have enough energy to really supply all of it. So we might have problems actually using the space thing anyway, because we won't really have a lot of fuel or. But I added a bunch of batteries, It's just that the recyclers take up more than I can really use. All right, anyway, let's go to the engines. I think we'll probably have. Yeah, okay. Let's add a maneuver. Get into an orbit of the moon. Not the moon, a Kerbal. We can go a little less. Okay, let's go. Point to the maneuver node. So it'll be a burn starting at 15 and another 4, so 19, 49 seconds until is when we'll do the burn. Once we get into orbit, then we can start doing some other stuff. Yeah, 40. What did I say? 40. I'll burn now. I forget my math. I feel like my math was probably wrong, and it was supposed to be a run now, so I'll just do it now. It's not going to hurt anything too much. Since we have our orbit, then we will test out our ladders. I'm hoping that that slope I have is now going to allow him to transition between the ladders and get into the science building. And eventually we'll have a large enough main command pod so that we can just travel through the whole thing. Or I can rearrange how the ship works so that there's not... So we have to return with a science lab, I guess. We're doing okay on fuel. We probably don't have enough to get to the moon, looks like. But we'll have enough to do some science, get back. Dirty with the X key. Okay, should be good. How's our fuel? So we have a little bit of fuel left still in that guy. Alright, now is our test. So, can you please do a crew report? It's not going to be worth anything right now, but possibly if we put it into the science thing, it might be worth something. So we're going to do an EVA. Oop, we got really zoomed out. Let's, there we go. We're going to do an EVA report and keep it for now. It possibly will be worth something when we run it through the lab. And then we're going to just carefully, I'm pretty sure this transition works. Okay, good. The next test is down here. Will we lose Jeb? Will we lose Bob, actually? We're using Bob now. Oh yeah, look at this. This looks promising. I'm assuming these ladders on here are ladders. Okay, good. Whew. Board B. Okay, so we made it into the science building. We're orbiting. Let's take a look in here. We want to review the data. So if we use the lab, it'll put process in the lab. It's 10 data, so it'll end up being 50 science. So it's going to be worth 0. Using it in the lab will end up making it be. So now we've stored 10 data. And then that will, the more we have, it'll convert into other stuff. Okay, good. So now we have somebody in the lab. So I'm assuming that if we do our experiments again, so this is the Science Junior, we're going to observe. This one is going to be 155 science over a long period of time in the lab. Good. And then we want to do the rest, the same for the other stuff. So this is sort of the cheaty thing that I used to do. At least now we have to actually feed him. So that helps us make it less cheaty, although it's actually fairly easy to feed him, it seems. We'll see how long all this science stuff is going to take once we finish up. I think there's a thermometer in here somewhere that we want to locate, and oh, right here actually. There we go. We can close all the doors and stuff. Is the craft is falling? Is the craft falling? It should be in an orbit. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's fine. It's in orbit. I had a maneuver node, so it might have seemed like it was falling. Welcome, Tops the Gear. Okay, so the ladder worked. This thing we can't do anything with because we don't have Eurekas, so that'll involve more things that we don't have right now. So now the test is we have battery power there, and then this thing. So this will potentially give us a bunch of science over time. Oh, you can just clean all experiments from here. That's cool. Let's go ahead and... It actually is... Hold on. So there's lots of life support. I wonder, is the life support... Start life support. I'm not sure. It says it was off, but I guess maybe it was on. Anyway, so he has 3 years, so we can keep track of this also. Let's put this. Oop, I don't want to move all of you. I just want to move you. Let's put this here for now. So we're going to cover Bob a little bit. The altitude is going down though. Well, it is. It's not a great orbit, but both these sides are with over 100,000, and so it'll. You know, it's not like a perfect orbit, but I won't be falling at all. Probably. Unless I'm wrong. Okay, so he's inside of here. So now what we want to do is we want to do start research. And then we can look at our battery. Okay, so it looks like it does drain. We have a bunch of solar panels on here, but it does drain faster than we gain it. But that's okay. So now what we want to do is we want to speed up time. Well, he does some research and thinks about these experiments. And then we'll watch our clock here. And so this has produced 0.006 science so far. So it takes a while. We eventually end up with a bunch. We're going to speed this up. He's going to work on doing a bunch of sciencey things. We could also come back to him. That's right. So it'll take a while because oh, I'm sorry, that's the rate. So what's the... Oh no, yeah, we still have not even one science yet. Technically you are falling. Yes. Yeah, I'm always falling. That's true. That's true. So he's good for a while. Given our solar panels and stuff, it's going to take a while to process any of this. I forgot how slow it was. The more science you have, the higher the rate is. But I'm out of sciencey things. Yeah, there's no electricity. That's the big part. Is that when I'm in the sun, he's able to do some research. But I don't have enough solar panels to really account for. So I need like better solar panels to make this more efficient. So I guess for now we're gonna come back to him. He still has a year and some to go. But I guess we're going to send up a second rocket to try and do some other stuff, or we could consider going to the moon and getting some more science from there. Maybe we should think about that. Let's stop time, or regular time. Let's go ahead and what's happening? Oh, I have no electricity. Okay, let's speed up time till we're in the sun. So that he can have some electricity so I can turn off research. Okay. Now we should be able to, there should be a little bit of, so we can say stop researching. So now the lights, now this will power up. So, and then we got, what, from that? We have 0.236 science. So that's going to take a while. We can speed it up if we are able to make it to the moon and do some science also. So let's see. Let's think about that. So this is the moon. We have a kind of a junky orbit also. Let me think. Yeah, we're not gonna be landing. I was thinking about maybe landing also, but okay. So let's do. Let's get our orbit a little bit better. Is that helping, or is it the wrong one? No, the other way. Okay, so we'll do that maneuver. Let's get rid of this. Or actually, if we put this here, will that toggle it there? Okay, good. Do you have the fuel? Yeah, well, I'm going to at least fix that orbit, and then we'll see what the burn time is going to be for some of the stuff. We need to fix our angle, and then look at it. I do have, I still have these 2 tanks. So even if we do an encounter, get some science, and then come back, I think that might be enough to grab some science, throw it in there, and then we have a faster rate. But I do need to really cover this thing in solar panels, I guess. I guess we could just come back, and then try this again, but with more solar panels. Because this is going to take a while. Let me... Yeah, maybe I'll redo it with more solar panels, or different solar panels. Maybe there's better ones. So let's actually go back to Earth, or Kerbin. Let's try that instead. So abort mission. We'll go ahead and add a maneuver. The other way. Okay. And we'll point to that. Try to. Oh, meanwhile. Meanwhile, let's get him in the right spot. So what we want to do is... or you can go here. EVA. And we want to go up. We're going to go very carefully. You're on the wrong side. Can you EVA on the other side, please? What about the other side? Can you do the side with all the ladders? Are you kidding me? Okay. Okay. All right. We can do this. Let's have him board. And can we crew hatch? Okay. Here's a hatch here. Can we? How do we force him to use the proper door? I could leave him for now, I guess. I really didn't anticipate that problem. Use crew transfer. So that I can. The problem is that the crew transfer doesn't work through certain things, it seems. So if I do this, so this is the main command pod. It says I can't because there's stuff in between where they can't go through. Make sure you can do both. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess. I didn't foresee that being a problem. I really can't. Here. we rotate like this, now we can actually see this thing. How do I... Because part of it, this whole thing is nobody's going to die. So, I would like you to... I mean, I could leave him here. And eventually, he'll give me a bunch of science. It's going to take a while. But he does have... I mean, he has 2 years of food. But then I don't know how to get him back easily. Well. I'm not very good at the flying around in space part. So maybe he's going to hang out here, and then maybe I'll be better eventually at doing that. So for now, what I don't know is even if I can transmit the data. Yeah, I could transmit science here. We'll see. Keep trying EVA. You think it might change? No, he's on the wrong side again. No, pretty consistent. That's a shame. Is there a ladder going around the top? Will that work? Maybe. I think it's gonna just consistently go to the same door, but look at this thing here. It looks like a ladder going around the outside. What I don't like is that my ship is like spinning around. Yeah, only one way to find out. So this might be my one oops on the whole thing. So right now, if I am on here, and I try to go left or right, it doesn't do anything. Okay. So every time I bump it a little bit. Okay. So now the question is, how do I jetpack? What's the button? J? What's the buttons? Please tell me. Hold on. Let me find out what the buttons are. Settings. Is it gonna say in here? No. Okay. What are the buttons? Jetpack. Kerbal Space Program. EVA. Jetpack. So this is our. So there's WASD the keys, and then Control and Shift for up and down. R key is to turn it on. Okay. All right. Here's our pressure test. All right. We want to resume flight. Stress. Okay. Yes, R. So R. We want to go forward. Oh, other way. No. What will the letter be? F. What perfect music. I hope you can hear it. Okay. Thank you for the tip. Cerdis. Oh, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. But thank you. Okay. All right, let's very carefully. So note to self. Note to self. That sometimes they get off on the other side. And I need more solar panels. And I hope you can properly transition between this. But otherwise, I'm an expert now, right? So, all right, we want to get to board. Please have board. Thank you. Okay. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? So we passed our thing. Although we can actually just, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just fire engines. Yeah, ladders and solar panels. Yeah, I didn't really think that it would always go to the same side when I was exiting the thing, given he went into one side. But all right, anyway. So we want to land. That's good. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to point prograde. Get rid of these engines. It'll take a while. Whew. Yeah. How's it going, Blazing Damon? How's it going? I'm so glad that I was really worried because my whole season 5 for this Kerbal Space Program is to not have anybody die. So I'm really glad that we were able to get the jetpack thing working. So that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and ditch. Let's make sure these are staging is right. So what is this connected to? Yeah, so that's fine. This is what we want next. We want to just ditch all that. And now we want to point to prograde, or retrograde rather, and just go back. Doing better than, yeah, thanks. So now we need to just head back in. We're gonna have probably a water landing, so that's really good. We didn't get any research on this mission. There's like a little less than one back in the other thing, but we need more batteries, more solar panels, and more ladders apparently. Although the entrance on this thing is on this side anyway, so I'm a little screwed with that. Unless I can attach like ladders going all the way around a something. That might work. I don't know. Yeah, it was a good test to see how that stuff works. Let's speed up time. Let's get into our into orbit, or into not orbit, but into landing. So we'll see where we land. We probably won't. I think the other thing is far enough away from us. Yeah, it's down there, over there. So I don't think we'll end up having to worry about that thing killing us. So maybe we'll land somewhere we haven't been, although I think we're probably going to have an ocean landing after this thing, drops out because of the friction. But if we land somewhere new, then we can do some science there. Yeah, that was the rest of the ship, all the fuel and everything else down there. But it's missed us. But it's about to explode, probably. That's like the Chinese space station thing that's going to crash into Michigan. That's like what that is. So we'll see if it explodes in a big poof. I can't tell how high it is from. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. Oh, there it goes, right there, Michigan. We don't remember that. No, it's coming. It's actually going to be coming. I forget. I think it's April. Sometime in April, they think that that like an older space station from the Chinese that's lost orbit will eventually be crashing down. Like a bunch of it's going to burn up, but not all of it, and it might have like bad chemicals and stuff. So who knows? I'm going to go ahead and deploy parachutes shortly. We'll do it now, I guess. So it looks like, I don't know. I think we'll be landing in the water. pretty close to not the water, but I think we'll be in the water. So hopefully that you know, it doesn't hit me. I guess I'm in Michigan, so. But yeah, I don't really know much about it, but it might have bad chemicals and some other stuff. Okay, so we survived. That was a it was a successful test of ladders and jetpack experience. The main thing is like, so when I was controlling that stuff, there was a point where I was trying to send it too many different commands without like reversing the command I just did. So then he was like floating away. So you sort of need to, you know, say move to the right, and then after it goes to the right a little bit, then say okay, now go to the left. So like stop your movement. Yeah, get a piece of it and sell it on eBay. Yeah. You're gonna host? Cool. Oh, well, thank you. I don't know. I'm sure. Yeah, it should show up. I'm using Restream, so I'm a slightly different setup than I usually am. This is a new usual. But I'm really glad that this all worked out. So let's get down to the bottom. Thank you for the host. Tops the gear. Appreciate that. So we'll land, see if we can do any science. Thank you for the host, Blazin Damon. Is it Damon, right? Although I guess the E and the A are not the way I'm usually see it with Damon. So let me know if I'm saying that wrong. Let me know if it's supposed to be Demon. Let me know. I've been saying Damon all day. I'm used to in in Linux servers and stuff. You have a daemon thing. Ridged. It's right. Oh, it's right. I gotcha. Cool. Daemon. Yeah. So so we didn't get any science probably from this mission, but we did learn from it. We got experience. So that's always a good thing. And we survived. So that's always good. So next, let's go ahead and just double check we can't do any science. Crew report. Yeah, the other one didn't do us anything. Oh, so we actually have the shores. Oh, that's interesting. We haven't done the shores. So there we go. We got some science from this mission. And we want to do an EVA. Well, actually, is there anything else? Temperature. EVA. EVA report. Let's take a surface sample. I think it's everything. Report. Close the doors. Oh, I'm sorry, not everything. We need to... I need to reset that experiment. So let's pop him out. EVA. Climb down. Are you close enough to it? Restore. Oh, is it sinking because I opened it? I hope that... I think that's actually the case. I think it actually... okay. Close doors. Collect data. Wait. Collect data. Right, that's fine. Okay. Climb up. Board. I think it's everything. Welcome, Pulse. You missed a very exciting testing out ladders in space. My Bob was loose, but I got him back. This is very exciting. Okay, I think we've done all the science here, so that actually worked out. We got some science even from this mission because we happened to land near shore. Very exciting stuff. So we got almost 40 science from that, so that's not too bad. Let's see what we can do with that science. So that is, can we do anything on this layer? No, we're just short for that layer. So do we care about this? I don't think so. No, we don't like any of that stuff. All right, so we need more solar panels. Yeah, we just need lots of solar panels. So let's look at our solar panel options. So there's the one that I've been using. Is this the same one? Let's maybe they're not called solar. Let's just go with this. Okay, that is all I have. Okay, so we're just gonna make lots of them. And we actually don't need, some of the stuff we have on here doesn't actually function because we don't have enough power in general. More solar and more batteries. So we're going to simplify our craft a little bit. This guy is a recycler we're not going to use. I think that these are fertilizer tanks on life support tank. Okay, so we do want to keep life support. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't need that. Okay. And actually, I guess we can add some more life support. Oh, that's interesting that it didn't. Okay. Well, I don't. What is it called? Who knows? Let's go here, and we can do life support. So we can put a couple of those on, and that'll actually give us space for a bunch of solar panels. So we're gonna go with that. So he can live for a long time out there, and then also eat for a long time. Okay, so we have that, and then we need. Well, we need probably more batteries, just so we can keep a charge going. But the main thing is the solar panels. We want to have just tons of them. That's probably the most we could do. Okay, so we're going to put them here and right here. You can. Oh, there's a copy and paste, right? They're not perfect, but they're close enough. Yeah, and ladders on the other side. Yes, thank you. That's a good point. Actually, what we're gonna do, because if he's gonna default to popping out on that other side, so before we launch, we're actually gonna test this. So if I pull this part off, and then I want to rotate it. You rotate. 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 Select a part to rotate. I want to rotate you. There's got to be a button, right? Rotate. Select a part to rotate. Oh, maybe it has to be attached. Select a part to rotate. There we go. So I think it's going to default to one of the sides. So let's try this. And then we want to add on one more ladder. Okay, we're good, thank you. And we're going to test this on the launch pad. Oh, that's too many. So a little bit of overlap, but I think it's fine. Okay, so we're going to test this on the launch pad. We'll start with the guy inside of that and see where he comes out. All right, now we want to... what is the buttons for copy and paste? There was a cool... I remember that they were awesome. And it saved me a lot of time before. So I would like to... I'll just look it up. Kerbal Space Program Construction copy. You're going to send up... I'm gonna send up one person, because I can only return with one person. But I'm going to test the ladders with two people. The Alt key, instead of hitting Z, hold down Alt and click on the parts that you want to copy. Hold down Alt and click on parts. Okay. We'll see. Holding down Alt. Clicking on parts. That doesn't work. Hold Alt and click on a piece. So that kind of worked. Okay, I understand. So let me detach this. Detach this. Hold down on Alt. Aha, there we go. Okay. So, we don't need these. Nope. So we'll see if this is enough solar panels. Not all of them are going to be active, obviously, because... and we might test to make sure this thing flies. Okay. So first we're going to test the ladders. We have some solar panels and plenty of food. We'll see if this works. We've gotten rid of some extra stuff. We actually can get rid of this also. But I don't want to mess up my ladder. Let me think. No, I'll take it off. I'll take it off. So let's detach this. Get rid of this. Attach this up here. And then, I mean, I could add on more batteries, but the idea is, I guess, that in theory, I want to be able to be producing enough energy to offset the actual energy needed. But I guess batteries would help when I'm inside of, when I'm behind the Kerbal. So let's do batteries. Add a bunch of these guys. Let's go with this one. You only need batteries when out of the sun, right? Exactly. Okay, so there's a bunch of batteries. And then a bunch of solar panels. I guess we're gonna have all this stuff too. Why didn't that work? And let's go put some more solar panels on. Why not? So, power. More power. Okay, that's good enough. We'll see if this works. So this is the solar. I'm trying to think of what name. What's the circle batteries? So they're small little ones. They're pretty small. I can't scroll up any higher. I have some here. So I could stack those up, but they're very small. And they don't really work too well in the design. So yeah, there we go. So, solar bat. Solar bat 1. Oh no, not 12, just 1. Okay, let's give this a try. So I want to save. I want to first test the ladders, or test the stuff. So we're gonna add. Doesn't matter because we're not launching. I guess we'll go just for. Okay, so we'll swap those two. Save and go to launch. We're not gonna launch, but we just want to EVA the guy in the science thing and see if he pops out on the correct side. So you, the scientist, EVA. Okay, so you are on the correct side that has the ladders that goes up to the top. Okay, good. So board, recover. So I rotated that whole part of the ship, and so now it will be coming out on the proper side. So another thing I should keep note of when I'm actually doing this thing. So now the question is, do I test out the launch, or do I just go? I do want to make sure I only bring just the scientist, and make sure he's up there. But otherwise, I think it's ready. It's about the same size, and unless these things are way, way heavier than other things. I mean, they have a lot of supplies in them, so it's 5.4. Let's look at some of the things I removed. So I removed a recycler. I removed this thing, so that's about the same. I guess this is a lot heavier because I have lots of these. So, no, actually, I hear what you're saying. But we're gonna go unmanned, just to be on the safe side first. Just to be, because I don't. This is our whole goal is not to have anybody die. I'm not gonna worry about bringing it back all the way, but I just want to see if like how well it will actually launch. So SAS on, throttle up, and go. It does launch. So once they get rid of the other engines, then I'll be satisfied enough, I think. But I want to see if like as it gets higher up, if the whole top just like breaks off or what. I've channeled my inner JJ Bonzig and make me not lose all my guys. So far so good, although this part's usually pretty uneventful until we start getting a little bit higher and then it starts, you know, wobbling. So some wobbling, but that's expected. If it flips on its side, then we'll know that there's an issue. So far, so good. It's about the same amount of wobble as before, and we actually took off. Our orbit's going to be, I mean, it's going to be a costly orbit to get the rest of it going. Okay. So I feel satisfied with that. Let's get rid of all those guys. And so this we could then angle, and so on and so forth. But we're not going to worry about it. There's no people on this thing. At this point, I'm guessing that I can't, oh, so it's not quite high enough yet to just go back to the space center. So that's what I'm going to wait for is, once we get high enough out, then I'm going to just go back to the space center. I can revert back to the station or whatever, but I'd rather not revert ever if I can help it. Even though it doesn't really matter. Once we can, I'll just let this thing continue up, and then it'll eventually fall, and then crash. I guess we can kill the engines. And then speed up time. Okay, there we go. So now we can go back to the Space Center. That thing will run its course. Crash down in Michigan. Okay, so back to here. So that took off. So then what we want to do is we just want to throw on Bob. Bob, welcome aboard. You're going to start there. Excellent. Go to launch. Alright, SAS on, throttle up. And go. So hopefully there's enough solar panels to offset the science center. But we're trying to get enough science to push us to a little bit more technology so we can build different things. Right now, we're sort of limited with some of the things we want to do. I guess I want bigger solar panels. Is maybe the next thing I would do. Or a larger command pod, maybe. I could also redesign this so that I'm returning with like one of the hitchhiker things, because I do have larger heat shields, so we could potentially do that if we didn't have a larger top thing. But like we could hire some more scientists, so we'd have multiple scientists working in the science lab instead of just one guy. But I'm not sure how close I am to the other solar panels yet. We'll see how much science we got out of this. He has 6 years worth of food on this mission, so that's good. If you can get a bigger thing to get crew back, yeah, right, yeah. As long as my whatever's returning will have enough space for all the crew that are involved. All right, so we're about to ditch this, and then we will work on our angle. So after those guys are gone, awesome. Let's work on our angle and try and get an orbit that looks nice. So we'll angle towards 90 degrees. Wait for the yellow dot to catch up with us. So this actually was a better launch than the last one. Not the last one, but the one before that, where I felt like we didn't. Oh no, I guess about the same. I was thinking because we didn't have a lot of fuel left. That was after we did our orbit. Okay, so which one is this one here? Okay, so add a maneuver. Perfect. Point to the boomer node. So we're going to burn at actually pretty close to now. Minute and like 15 seconds. So we're going to burn a little bit before we get to the maneuver node, but it might correct faster to the maneuver node. Maybe. We're burned now. There you go. Yeah, it'll get there. So our orbit might not be perfect. We fired a little bit early, and we weren't quite on the mark, but it'll be good enough, I think. Because I don't think we're planning on getting to the moon. We're just trying to see if we can do some science. Let's do a crew report. Keep it. I mean, I guess we could just do this when we're in orbit, not doing a maneuver. Keep him up there to farm science to get to. Yeah, I've been to the moon and done some science up there. But yeah, definitely with the science thing, it takes a while, but you get a lot more science out of it because he's running a bunch of tests and stuff up in space. And he has 6 years of life support. So. How's our fuel? Okay, we're running low on fuel, but I think we'll make it to the maneuver. We still have one more tank after this, so we can get back to the planet. Great. Let's switch engines. Okay. Perfect. Okay, good. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So we want to EVA. Do we want to do anything while we're up here? Crew report. I think I just did. Let's redo it, I guess. Keep it. The science things we can run. Let me think. No, we'll wait on that. Okay, so let's go. Let's EVA. Let's work our way. We're on the side of the ladder. Awesome. Good. I was worried for a second there. So we're going to an R's in case we screw up this process. There's a ladder right there, right? Yeah, it's just harder to see. Okay. So we're gonna hang out in here. Let's run some experiments and store them in the science building. Actually, we should review transmit science, transfer crew. Oh, I guess we can't do. All right, so let's pop out and do an EVA report. Keep it. Board. We want to review the data. Store it in there. We want to do this. So we're doing the same thing we just did, although the hope is that we are able to and now actually use the science lab. So we're doing all of our experiments again that would usually give us 0, but now we're going to store that data inside of the science building. I think that's all the things. Pretty sure. And now, let's get into the sun before we start this whole thing, so we can get an idea of how it's going to behave when we're in the sun. Are we in the sun? Oh, we are. Okay. All right, so we're in the sun. Our battery is a lot. We have a lot of batteries now. So now what we want to do is we want to take a look at this, and we want to start researching. So when we're in the sun, we have enough solar panels to keep it going. Okay, good. So let's have him work on doing that science. We'll also bring up his food. He has 6 years, so we don't really have to worry about that. So when we get into the shade, it does start draining the battery. Let's see if it gets all the way down to 0 or not. Nope, good. Okay, so this can continue going until we run out of science. So, and we can't, because we're close to the planet, we can only speed up so far. So I think what we'll do is this will be the end of today's stream. It's interesting. So life support's inactive, although he's still okay. Well, maybe we should let's slow down time. I'll turn it on. I'm curious to see if that's going to drain enough battery so that it doesn't work right. So let's try this again. Let's speed up time. I can also increase the orbit a little bit, and that will let me speed up faster, because I think we'll have enough fuel to get back in. But what I want to do is see if now I'm in the sun. So yeah, even with life support turned on, it's still fine. Okay, good. So this will be the end of the stream. I'm just going to let this run until he's out of science. Next time we play, which is tomorrow's stream, then we will return with him, and then we'll have a bunch of science. Or actually, I guess I'll transmit that before we actually land. So that'll be something I have to remember to do. But I'll let this run, finish up its science, finish up all of its data. How long can he survive now? So he can survive, I think it's still, oh, I see, interesting. I turned on life support, and now it's gone to 13 years. Huh. Interesting. I don't really understand the life support thing, but I guess he has 13 years life support now that I've turned on life support in that thing. Very odd. Not sure how that works. But yeah, we can last for a long time. So that'll be it. Thank you everybody for watching.